with them straight away, listen to what they've got to say, and we have the solution for their issues. Remember that. So at the end, we're going to give them the solution. So it's okay if you get a bit stuck with explaining these. Don't spend like an hour trying to explain these results to someone. Keep it brief, because then they start, and you scan them once a month, once every 2 months, they're going to see these readings improve anyway. Yeah. The next reading is bone mass. This is usually, people are generally okay with how heavy their bones are, unless they have a bone issue. And they'll just turn to the back of their wellness pass, and it tells you woman or male, and it tells you that their weight range and what bone mass should be. So usually I'll show them, okay, if they're in the correct weight range, great, your bone mass is really good.
And this makes them feel good about something at least.
Yeah.
Where do you get that from?
Oh, if you send us an email, we'll send you.
Cool.
The other reading is the visceral fat, and this is the most dangerous reading. This is what I said, this is the most important, the most dangerous reading. And it's the fat from the waistline up, I basically say to them. And I show them usually this picture, sometimes this one together. But especially this one, I say it's the visceral fat around the abdominal area. And I just say, look, it surrounds the heart, the stomach, the kidneys. They can see the organs there. And then I just say it puts you at risk of, and I read exactly what's here. I say, puts you at risk of stroke, liver disease, diabetes, osteoarthritis, heart disease, and colon cancer. And your visceral fat is, and I turn over and I circle, okay, if they're 13 is the worst already. It's alarming. I say, if they're over 13, I'll say, look, you're over the worst, the highest end already. So you really need to get to between 1 and 4, which is excellent, or between 5 and 8, which is healthy. If they're 8 or 9, they're on the border of healthy to bad. Doesn't mean that that's good. I say if they are between that, I say, look, you're on the border of healthy to bad, so you really want to get to between 1 to 4. So I always want to emphasize a little bit more on the visceral fat, because that's the... And most people know that they need to lose it from here. Almost everyone that needs to lose weight, it sort of sits around this tummy, the abdominal area. And nowadays, with how much awareness is out there with diabetes and cholesterol and blood pressure and people's waistlines, people already have much more of an awareness about reducing their waistlines than even 5 or 10 years ago. Okay, so it's...
And by the way, someone could be really skinny and still have a high visceral fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the 3 things they need if they've got a reading of 13, Rog?
Okay, so I have a simple philosophy. 3 different things. You might want to write it down. Number 1, good insurance policy. Number 2, ambulance membership. And number 3, they better get on the Herbalife products quickly. Okay.
All right. So then at that point, you can ask for referrals. There is a section on the sheet for referrals. Have you enjoyed the information I've given you today? Do you know anyone who will value the same evaluations? I do home visits, I do work visits. You can promote that, and they may give you some names and numbers. If they don't, no problem. That's an option to get referrals. At that point, though, then you go straight into talking about Herbalife. You don't ask them, do they want to know about Herbalife? You just go straight into, have you heard of Herbalife? This is exactly what I say. So have you heard of Herbalife? And I just sort of point, because it says Herbalife on the booth, or it says Herbalife somewhere on the banner or something. And they'll say yes or no. Whatever they say, you still say, all I say is Herbalife's been around for 32 years. We're in 78 countries. We help people lose weight, gain weight, and stay healthy. And one of the big things is we don't sell the products in the supermarkets and the chemists, because it's important to say that, because then people walk away from this booth thinking that they can go to the chemist and buy Herbalife. So I always like to say that. And why? Because, you know, when you buy something over the counter, no one's going to give you follow-up, no one's going to give you help. So we're wellness coaches, we work on a one-to-one basis. Then I go into showing the testimonies. That's all I say about Herbalife and the company. And I always show, I mean, these is just some from the Supervisor Academy. We've also got a little album of them. Either way, it's okay, whatever you're using, as long as there's some pictures. And I always put at the beginning of your picture book, people that you know or people that you've helped. So look, these are some personal people that I've helped. I always start with my story. So look, you know, this was me before I used to be a nurse. 30 seconds, very short story, very short. They can see the pictures. And I sort of share maybe 3 stories. 1, 2, 3. And I say, here, have a look. while I write up your results. So that's just an excuse. Some people, what they do is as soon as they do the scan, then straight away they start filling in the wellness pass and the person's just sort of waiting, sort of not doing anything, watching you. So don't just like at the beginning fill this in. It's better to fill this in that you're busy and while they're busy looking at your testimonies.
You'll find that when people see a picture, the picture tells 1,000 words, and then they'll see it underneath and they'll start reading, and then they'll get to the next one.
That's why it's important to have the picture book.
And that's why it's important. You need to be doing something throughout this while they're flicking through this. Otherwise, they feel bad looking while you're waiting for them to finish looking at their picture book, doing nothing. So this is an excuse to fill in your wellness pass because you're going to give this to them at the end. So you say, have a look while I write up your results for you. So they're looking at the picture book and you're filling in this. So pretty much you sort of can tell when you're finished, they've sort of finished flicking. And then you go straight into showing them the product. So the picture of the products, which looks like this. You're presuming that they're going to buy. Even if they've said, at the beginning, I'm not going to buy anything, or what is this, or whatever, you're still going to show them the programs. So as soon as they've finished looking at the picture book, I'll show you what we do. And then I just go through, there's the 4 programs here. There's the Shape Up, Quick Start, Advanced and Ultimate. And they're the 4 options that I give people. So I just basically explain very simple how they can lose weight. That this is a meal, it's got everything their body needs in a meal, and at this point it's important, this is why it's important to know what they're sort of eating, eating and drinking. So you can say, look, you skip breakfast, so breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so at least have this for breakfast. And so I go through the Shape Up very quickly. I basically say, you take this twice a day as a meal replacement, the Formula 1, and you eat 1 main meal, and it comes with a supplement that helps with fluid retention, and a multivitamin, multi-mineral, multi-herbal. And I say this program here is approximately $53 a week. It's $214 a month. Or you can go cost per meal. That's also very effective, $3.50 a meal. And a lot of people save money on this program. And then if someone wants a bit faster results, a bit more energy, they can go on the fast weight loss program. Then I explain the Quick Start. I say it adds a product for metabolism and energy, and a product that absorbs fat and keeps you full, and I give them the price of that program. And then I say in the program above that one, for faster weight loss results, adds a herbal beverage that helps to burn fat and cleanse the body. I like to say the more you drink of this, the more you shrink. That's easy to remember. And if they're drinking a lot of coffee, because you would have already asked them what they're drinking from this, what they're eating and drinking. If they're drinking a lot of coffee, I always say it's better to replace the coffee with this. So it's important to know what they're doing, their habits are before. And then the price of that. And then I say for someone who wants the fastest results in the shortest time without thinking about it, they go on to the fastest weight loss, which adds the aloe vera and the flora fibre, which cleanses the system a lot faster, gives you the digestive support products, and give them the price. And then I say, now which is within your budget? I stop talking and I give them this to look at. So you're presuming that they're going to buy, okay? That's really important. Which is within your budget, and then they'll if they choose one, or when they choose one, you say they come in 5 flavours. I said, you say great, comes in 5 flavours, and you say the flavours. Which 2 flavours would you like, and how do you want to pay? Okay, so that's the closes. It's very important. Some people are so good about talking about the products and about everything and the explanation, but they're not confident, or they haven't practiced enough with the closing. So the key with the closing is these questions. What's within your budget? What flavours would you like, and how do you want to pay? And at that point, it's good to say, would you like to pay cash or credit card? If you accept credit card facilities. If not, you just say, we accept cash. You can make payment today. We'll deliver the products to you. However you want to arrange to deliver the products. But just practice those closing questions because they're really important. And that's half the battle. If you can just close, then most people will say yes. They may give an objection, like they can't afford it, or they're not sure. Usually they just need they need you to encourage them, to give them a little bit more reason to buy. So that's when you may want to look at cost per meal and how they're going to save. And they may give 1 or 2 objections, and then if you've encouraged them a bit, then they'll buy. And if they keep giving objections, that means that either they're not ready, or they really don't have the money, or they're not serious. So then don't push it with them, and you can just follow up. So follow up is really key with all your inquiries. So again, you can be so good at doing roadshows, you get 10 to 20 leads a day, and then if you're not following up with them, then also it's a wasted opportunity, because you'll be amazed at how much business you can generate with follow up. And don't forget, after you've done this, you've got a whole database of people have some sort of interest in their health. You can always invite them into your nutrition club or a weight loss challenge, or invite them to your wellness centre to sample the product, because we know that we're sampling every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So you don't have to necessarily invite them to a meeting, but you can invite them to the centre to have a sample of the product. So there's lots of ways that you can keep your person interested in what you're doing, or offer them the opportunity as well. So if you've asked them some questions at the beginning, when you've developed the rapport with them, you may find out that they're not working, or they're looking for a job, or they're a stay-at-home mum, or whatever it is, and you can always offer the business opportunity with the follow-up though.
Not at the roadshow.
Yeah.
It's important not to conflict what you're doing. So the roadshow is purely for offering a free wellness evaluation.
As I said earlier though, some people may bring up the opportunity with you. Some people do actually ask about it. Then you can obviously speak about it, but we're not actively promoting like with recruiting flyers, because you don't want to cause a bit of confusion out there.
Okay. How to handle an objection if someone looks at the menu and says, "Oh, I can't afford it." This is where you refer back to what they're eating, like Ali said. But you can sort of say, "Well, you're roughly spending. You tell me you have McDonald's for lunch. That must be costing you at least $6-7 for the meal, and you're eating whatever for breakfast. So you're probably spending around $10 a day. $10 a day by 30 days is $300 a month. That means you can afford the $300 program, because we're not asking you to spend more money than what you're spending on food already. We're just shifting your spending."
You find that a lot of people drink so much coffee that if it breaks it down,
it's amazing.
That's where it is.
Those products are so cheap. Really, it's too cheap.
It's important that you give them your details at the end and give them the wellness pass. It's important to always keep the area nice and tidy and clean. Very important to have a good, strong product testimony. If you're sort of new and you've still got a lot of weight to lose, you can still do roadshows, but you just wear the button that says "I've lost 5 kilos, ask me how," so that they know that you're a work in progress. So you really want to look as good as you can with your product result. Obviously, in this business, regardless, but obviously also with the roadshow, you really want to have that, because you've only got that short time to try and share your results with excitement and passion. So you've really got to be fully 100% using the product.
Okay. So where to get this scale? If you go to myherbalife.com. They've changed it now?
No, that's what I wanted to say. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, so you can go to retail and recruiting, and then you go to DMOs, and it says Roadshow there. And you click on Roadshow, and it's actually got a link there to where you can purchase the scales.
There's actually a roadshow manual,
yes,
and in the manual it tells you where to get the scale from. Actually download that manual, and because it's got a lot of information about what to do and what to say. These readings are explained a lot more detail in that manual. In the manual, the survey form that they're using is not the one we use at these roadshows, but as I said, we'll email that out if you send us an email. And that's it really.
So there are different models. It doesn't matter which model you get. Okay. It doesn't matter whether you get the Volkswagen or the Ferrari model. It doesn't matter. They all do the same thing. The only difference is the metabolic age is the only thing that it doesn't read the same.
Does that impact on anything?
It's not a huge impact.
No.
The one that really gets most people is the visceral fat.
Yeah.
You'll always get them with the visceral fat.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the scale. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of roadshows coming up. What we want to do, as you know, our vision for Victoria is to have 10,000 new clients by the end of next year. Now, with what we're doing at the moment, we're going to achieve that a lot sooner. But why not even make it sooner again? So, first of all, who likes this concept of roadshow? Who can see themselves doing it? 99% of the room, if not 100. Okay? Here's what we need you to do. Ali and I can't do everything trying to organise these roadshows. So if you know of an expo coming up, or if you're looking to run one in a local shopping centre near you, but you don't have enough distributors in your organisation, find out what the cost is to set up a stand. Okay? For example, let's say the shopping centre says it costs $2,000 for the whole week. Okay? So we can arrange shifts, and it will probably work out to about $50-60 a shift. Okay?
Rog,
Yeah.
in conjunction with that, Sean and I are looking at, they're going to get an email soon. We're looking at Malvern Central. We're just organizing all the costs and everything, and so everyone will get an email if they're interested to participate
That's
in
it.
that.
So we all need to work together, because some of you are still new in the business and don't have a team yet.
Yeah.
So what better way to build your business is by learning from your colleagues, you know, listen to how they do it, listen to how they get the sale, things like that. So we all work together. So if you have a roadshow that you want to organise, but you don't have the manpower to fill it, send us an email. We will send it to everybody who's interested in roadshows, and then we'll say, okay, you know, Paul, there's these guys who are interested in the roadshow, you know, organise the shifts and lock them in, and then start collecting the money for the roadshow. It's important with the money that the roadshow shift is paid up front, okay? Because the last thing we all want is to become financial people trying to chase our money from everybody to pay the shopping centre or what have you. Okay, yes, Mo?
Have you ever came across someone who's off the scale?
Who?
Weighs more than the scales?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If someone weighs, normally if they're more than 150 kilos, the scales won't read them. Okay, and it'll give you an error message. So
what do you do? Yeah.
what do you do? So you can try giving them a scan a second time. If it still comes up with the error, you say, look, unfortunately, the scale's not picking up the readings, so we can work with you to help you achieve your goal.
And that's a good way to get an appointment.
Yeah.
Now, there is a roadshow coming up with Herbalife next month. Besides at Diwali, we've organised one next month at one of the expos. So make sure you do email us, and then look out for the email when it's sent out. But there is one already confirmed for November.
So that's the mind, body and spirit one. Yeah. We've done that one before, a few months ago, and it was really successful. Actually, we were the only stand that had queues waiting for a scan. Okay, everybody's like, what's happening at their stand? And people were physically waiting for their turn to get a scan. That's how amazing it was. Yeah. So we've booked that in again. That's Mind, Body and Spirit Expo. We've already got another one organised for early next year at the Bridal Expo, okay, which is going to be unbelievable. Okay, so again, guys, let's work together. If you want to set up a stand in the shopping centre, or if you know of an expo that is happening that we don't know about, please tell us and we'll do research on it, and then we'll announce it for everybody to get involved. Okay. Anything else? Any quick questions?
I don't have a question, but just going back to that Tanita scale, if anyone's got Medibank private health insurance in this room, if you look through their Feel Better Awards, they've got a 50% discount. So
Look
check
through
it out.
what?
It's with the Medibank private health insurance, there's a Feel Better Awards magazine on the website. You may have even got it in your email, but they're doing a 50% discount off the Tanita scale.
Well, we get it for almost 50% off anyway.
Oh. It doesn't matter where
you're a Herbalife distributor through the company that supplies it. They're giving it to almost half the price. One more important thing.
The other thing is, every person who's participating in the roadshows needs their own public liability insurance. Each distributor needs one. So Herbalife sent out an email about that public liability insurance. If you didn't get the email, just call Herbalife, they'll forward it to you. And I think it's like $100 and something, and it covers you for the whole year, and it covers you for everything. So that's handy to have anyway, when you're running weight loss challenges, or you use the same public liability insurance. So you just go through the ones that Herbalife have organised.
And where is that? Where do you get that?
Contact Herbalife, and there's actually an email that's been sent out. So if you don't have it, just ring them, and I'm not sure if it's on My Herbalife. It might be, but I don't know where it is.
It's in the manual, actually.
It's in the manual?
Oh yeah, it is actually. Thank you, Demi.
Roadshows, it's there. Yeah, you can can go straight to Gallagher.
Yeah.
Cover everything.
So guys, you know, I look forward to hearing everybody running their own roadshows really soon.
One more question.
Sorry, not so much a question. I just wanted to share something in case, you know, everyone came across this, but I was once asked, you know, why do we, you know, measure bone mass? And it's a really, and I found that ever since I got asked that question, it made me think about it. I use it to introduce our targeted nutrition. So I always tell them that, you know, with bone mass, if your bone mass isn't enough to support your weight, you're going to have joint problems. So I just wanted to share that with everyone.
That's a great answer, and obviously all these readings you can relate it to one of the Herbalife products anyway.
Absolutely.
Okay. So thanks guys. There'll be more trainings down the track with roadshows. Don't forget, 5 gets 5 month. If there's ever a month to do 5,000, it's definitely this month.
Right, just remember guys, roadshows will be an integral part of our activity, of our business, certainly through to the end of 2012. And we're lucky that these guys are the experts, they've done more, they know what they're doing. And we're just lucky. Thank you.